He's going to be overshadowed a little bit in size, but at 6'6", 230 pounds, big number 50, Alex Schmeezing from Minster, has been their leading scorer so far, 18.3 points a game. And at that size, I know that Mike Lee still is going to go inside and really test Layfeld early.
Okay, folks, well, we're glad to be here at Coldwater. Haven't been here in a few years. A beautiful gym, a great facility to do high school basketball from. And we're glad you're along with us as well as the Cavaliers get set to host the Minster Wildcats. This portion of tonight's game is brought to you by Fishmo's. We thank Fishmo's in St. Henry for providing the crew with food for tonight's game. That's Fishmo's on West Main Street in St. Henry. Also brought to you tonight by Ray's Refrigeration Incorporated. Ron, Mike, and Dan of Ray's Refrigeration invite you to stop and see them on the north edge of Coldwater. Ray's Refrigeration has been your family-owned sales and service dealer for over 50 years, specializing in heating, air conditioning, and appliances. Also brought to you tonight by Whirling Motors. At Whirling Motors, you'll find quality late model Ford, Chrysler, and GM cars and trucks. We are a full-service shop, AAA wrecker service, and offer late model rentals. Call Dave Esser or Bill Whirling at 678-3490. That's Whirling Motors since 1954. For Minster, can they stay undefeated? For Coldwater, it's opening night, and it's coming up next on 44 Sports.
Today's day of broadcast is sponsored in part by Wanda, Aaron and Christy, Jason and Marla, Landon, Evan, and Madeline Newman in celebration of Jack Newman's 60th birthday. They're thankful for his life and what he means to each of them. Our thanks to the Newman family for helping to witness the living word, as well as remember Jack's 60th birthday. A big happy birthday, Jack. God bless.
If you're looking for a good deal on a vehicle without any games or gimmicks, then head to Magnum Truck and Auto. At Magnum, they look at the long-term picture. They want repeat business. Magnum can help you understand GVW, towing capacity, how a lease works, or any other question you may have. Their goal at Magnum is to make each customer a friend. Give that customer the best value for their dollar. Magnum Truck and Auto, locally owned and operated since 1977. Located next to I-75 on Blue Lick Road. Your truck specialist is Magnum Truck and Auto. On the web at magnumtruck.com.
The age for collecting full Social Security benefits is increasing to 67. Still plan on retiring early? To find out more, visit our website or call this toll-free number.
And welcome back to Coldwater High School. Tonight, our matchup featuring the Cavaliers of Coldwater against the Wildcats of Minster here on TV 44 Sports. This portion of tonight's game is being brought to you by Shell's Westtown Drive-Thru. Give us a call at 678-2999 for our Pizza of the Month, Chicken, Bacon, Barbecue. That's Shell Westtown Drive-Thru, West Main Street in Coldwater. Also brought to you this evening by Longmire Printing and Advertising. For unsurpassed quality and attention to detail on all projects, from business cards to full-color catalogs and brochures, call Longmire Printing and Advertising, North Union Street, downtown Lima. This is Mike Shepp along with Jerry Snodgrass. Glad you could tune in to our matchup tonight featuring the Coldwater Cavaliers and the Minster Wildcats. Starting lineups are being introduced right now, and we shall be taking a look at them. Jonathan Penning, Dustin Summer, Brad Pranger, it should be David Patch, P-A-T-C-H, and Alex Schmeezing. And of course they are coached by their veteran mentor, Mike Lee. 3-0 on the year are the Minster Wildcats. Now we'll take a look at Coldwater. This is their maiden voyage tonight. You see in their white warm-ups being introduced. They're going to go with Adam Wedding, and I believe it's Jeff Layfeld, Kyle Hoying, Matt Layfeld, and A.J. Winning. Tyler Vogel not starting tonight, so that's a typo, but he will see plenty of action, as this is the Cavaliers' first game. They are coached by Chris Bin, and a lot of their strategy tonight is probably going to be trial and error, just going to see what happens and what works here in this first game. Our officials are taking the floor, and we'll introduce them to you shortly, as we have a very good crowd on hand. They are from left to right: Eric Brown, John Cronauer, and Chet Roberts. JV game one tonight to Coldwater, 48-34. Jerry, this really is one of the fine basketball venues in our area, isn't it?
You know, it really is. And as you said, we've got a great crowd here. Unique, obviously, that it's all in orange and black, but what a great crowd, what a great atmosphere. The whole conference is that way, and as you said, it's one of the great venues in high school basketball.
And two big puppies at center circle. 41 is Matt Layfeld in the white for Coldwater, 6'11" in a sophomore. Smeezy, number 50 for Minster in the black at 6'5", 6'6". Jerry and I were on the floor. He looked a little bit bigger than 6'5" to me. But the more experienced player, and there's the matchup underneath as you see him post up. Smeezy against Vogel. Not Vogel, against Layfeld. Now this is Smeezy with the ball looking underneath as CW opens up in a man-to-man.
And I know Mike Lee talked early on. He's going to be patient enough to try to go inside right away and take advantage of an overall size advantage.
This is Smeezy out front looking things over. Aggressive defense being played here by Coldwater. Looking at Minster, a team that has averaged some 63 points a game offensively with wins over Spencerville, New Bremen, and St. Mary's. I believe the New Bremen win was a non-conference win. I think this is the MAC opener for both schools. There's a rejection notice there nicely that time by Jeff Layfeld as he knocked that shot away. So the first shot attempt that time by Minster actually didn't get anywhere, and now the Cavaliers have it.
Well, there was good patience on the offensive end that time, but unfortunately, you've got somebody 6'11" in there. There was not a whole lot of penetration after 15 passes.
And this is Layfeld, and he has his shot blocked. Goodness gracious, turnaround is fair play as Smeezy knocked that one away. And so we'll come back to the Minster end of the floor.
We knew the size matchup was going to be very interesting, and little did we know in the first two possessions what it would be.
And that shot goes up off the iron and in by David Patch. The sophomore at 6'5" has the first basket of this game. Now Minster playing a zone right now, and we'll see how Coldwater attacks. Remember, this is their first game, so a lot of the stuff they're doing right now, like a bobbled pass right there, something that's common to a first game.
You know, it very much is, and also, you know, you see Minster changing defenses after each, whether it's a make or miss, you know, and something like that can be very disruptive to a team in their first game.
There's one thing, Jerry, you can practice and practice. You can even scrimmage. You can't simulate game action.
No, you can't. Scrimmages are just too loose. You know, there's too many times you can stop things, and it's just not the same as getting game experience under your belt.
And Alex Smeezy with that deuce. Another thing, the crowd isn't there, and it's just obvious. And Jerry will tell you, some kids perform better in an empty gym than they do in front of a whole bunch of people. We have a bunch of people here tonight. There is another shot rejection that time. That was by Minster. Smeezy with the shot block. Now here to drive down the lane, and with the kind bounce that time was heating.
Well, and that's one of the things, you know, Mike Lee said they would do. They would challenge that height. They would continue to go inside. You know, sure enough, guards aren't even afraid to go in.
Remember, Mark and I'll be, Mark. Well, maybe Mark's picking him from home. Gary and I'll be picking our Stolly Insurance Hustle Award winner at the end of this game tonight. His second shot coming off here off the miss. It's out to Kyle Hoying. Point number 40, the quarterback on Coldwater's tremendous football team from this past fall that made it clear to the state championship game. Skip pass to Hoying. This is what Coldwater's going to have to do somewhere along the line, I think, is make a perimeter shot, and Hoying's was halfway down.
And, you know, that's one of the tougher things coming into your first game, too. When you've had an extended football year, getting the basketball legs back, that's tough to do.
And Smeezy, did he walk? Yes, he did. So Smeezy is called for traveling that time, so the score remains 6-0. And we had Tyler Vogel on our graphic as being a starter, but he might as well be, as Vogel's going to come in the game right now. He is number 32 for Coldwater. 6'4", a senior, a tremendous football player being recruited by many Division I schools. Wearing number 32, so he just adds more bulk and strength to that Coldwater lineup.
Well, you know, and you see that with such great football players. I mean, they play any sport they want to play, and they're good at it. So Tyler Vogel certainly is an epitome of that.
And Vogel has the ball right now. This is Adam Wenning. He's picked up his dribble, has to get it outside. Tough pass there. Wenning has it back. This is Adam Wenning. And the shot put up by Vogel is just into the game, and that one wouldn't go, and one shot only that time. The nice rebound by Brad Prenger. So Minster brings it down the floor, in control at 6-0. Not quite to the halfway point of the quarter. The shot from the wing, the kind bounce doesn't go that time by David Patch, and they have a foul on a rebound against Coldwater. And Tyler Vogel's called for the personal. And that's the first team foul of this entire contest, which is nice to see, even though we have a 3-man crew tonight, which I think we'll have for all the MAC games this year. Set inbounds play here to Smeezing. A little bit short with that. Rebound to Patch, and he was fouled. And just that quickly, I think Tyler Vogel's picked up his second foul. So I think Vogel's made 2 or 3 trips down the floor. There you see Tyler, the All-State fullback linebacker on the Coldwater's football team. And he was in, and he's going to be back out, I think, very quickly, as we see David Patch at the line. Well, I didn't jinx him, Jerry, because I was about to say, here's an exceptional foul shooting team. Minster at 78% in this young season, and Patch is at 83%.
You know, I was just going to say, an excellent team right there.
We got the replay there. We see the previous block in and out on both those attempts that time by David Patch. The score remains 6-0. We're more than halfway through the first quarter, and Coldwater's yet to find the scoring column. On the drive, nice shot by Jeff Layfeld that time. Well, that is one that wouldn't be drawn up in a playbook anywhere, but Layfield got the soft bounce and almost caused a turnover right there.
Well, you like to see that. You know, players decide it's time to score. We've got to get on the board and break the ice a little bit. He did. He just kind of put all things aside in the offense and said, I'm going to score.
Well, Layfeld, one of the great names in Coldwater sports history. And think back to the '93 Wonder team that made it to the state finals with only 4 wins in the regular season, and Mitch Layfeld with a steal at midcourt at Toledo against Patrick Henry, a moment immortalized in TV 44 sports history. That was Matt Layfeld off that miss that time. 6-2, but Coldwater turns it over. They thought they had an opening down low, but the Minster defense closed in. Minster made their first 3 field goal attempts and now missed their last 4. Alex Smeezing going up against Layfeld. It's going to stay with Coldwater right in front of our broadcast location.
Well, right in front, all right, but we're also looking up to that. That's a lot of size right in front of us there. There's no doubt they are challenging that inside.
Jerry, this has to be awfully tough for Coldwater. They have to find their basketball legs. They have to find their, what I would call their naturalness on the floor, just where they should be in relation to their teammates. What type of things they want to do, where do they want to set screens, who do they want to block out, just the things that come more natural 5 or 6 games in.
You know, it is, and I think that really tests you as a coach. I think Chris Ben, knowing him, he's patient enough to know that. You know, and he's going to have to be patient as they work that into the system. And slowly, you know, with a late start, you just have to do that.
Smeezing with a miss, AJ winning the rebound. Coldwater the basketball. Here's another drive that time by Jeff Layfeld, similar to the last one. He has the ball back, but he's got to get it outside to Kyle Hoying, and that had 3 seconds written all over it.
There's certainly a lot of physical play on the inside by both teams. We've seen more blocks tonight, I think, than we see in a lot of games.
Take a look at
this. Again, he goes inside like that to challenge the inside. Once again, Smeezing has another block.
Our score remains 6-2, under 2:15 left in this first quarter. And we have an illegal screen that time called against Smeezing. And both Smeezing and the Minster bench look on in total mystification at that call. You don't like to see your big man get a foul some 25, 30 feet from the basket, but when he is that far away, he will be noticed, and they've called for an illegal screen.
And that might be one of the things when we have 3 officials in a physical game like that. Some of that is seen a little bit closer, you know, and maybe we get a whistle that we wouldn't normally get.
Well, the score is stuck on 6-2. In fact, Minster, they haven't scored in about the last 4 to 5 minutes as well. So both teams struggling at the offensive end. This is a shot put up that time by Matt Layfeld. It wouldn't go, and Smeezing has the rebound. Nice drive this time by Peening, but he couldn't finish, and we have a rebound foul called. And it's going to go against Peening, I believe. So Minster will be called for their second team foul. As we have another look at it on our replay.
A little surprised he got in that easy without the help.
Well, he's a right-handed player. And there, I think, if he just put that shot up right-handed or worked on his left hand more, then he might have made it. It was good for him to put it up with the left hand, though. That's what, even at the high school level, the ball handlers need to learn how to do. On the drive is A.J. Winning. A.J. Winning makes it 6-4. One thing Minster has done is their cold shooting has let Coldwater hang around and not get blown out here in the first quarter, even though Coldwater struggling at the offensive end.
Well, you know, one thing you can do when you really don't have your complete basketball lecture, you can always play defense. And that's one of the things right now. I'm sure Chris is doing that too. Saying, let's play good defense and hang around, and it might be a low-scoring game.
Shot put up that time by Retkerman wouldn't go. Andy Retkerman is into the game now for Minster, and that shot missed. And here's a shot from the wing, but there's a foul on the shot. It might have been after the shot. We'll see how this is called. This might have been after the shot as Adam Wenning put it up from the corner. That was a three-point shot, but they may call this. They do call it a shooting foul.
Giving him 3 shots on it.
Foul called that time on Dustin Summer. There you see the tail end of it on our replay, and we thank the guys in the truck for supplying us with the replays tonight, doing a great job. And at the line, the 6'2" junior, Adam Wenning. He's going to get one more.
I'm sure they'll talk about this at the quarter break, where, you know, even though with 4 points, Coldwater has not hit an outside shot yet. You know, they're going to make them try to hit one before they really go out and foul people outside of 3.
And Adam Wenning now has getting his third shot. He can make it a tie ball game, and he does so. Adam Wenning, his first 2 points of the night. We're tied at 6. We're under 50 seconds left in quarter number 1. Jerry Snodgrass with Mike Shep, yours truly, here from Coldwater High School, bringing you this MAC matchup between the Cavaliers and the Wildcats. Now Smeezing comes outside to help. Right in front of the Coldwater bench, you see Chris Bin standing up, looking over the action. That drive was way too hard, and while a traveling call off the rebound as Matt Layfeld simply couldn't get his legs set underneath him. Brad Prenger's shot almost went through the backboard, and Minster will keep it. You have to remember that Matt Layfeld at 6'11" is only a sophomore, so even though he's that tall, that's not a mature 6'11". He has to learn how to grow into that body basketball-wise.
Was even there, you know, he literally destroyed his own player on that. Did it again, same guy. A.J. Wenning's going to want to take a breather here in a minute. Keep from getting beat up by Matt Layfeld.
Ty Hinkline missed the shot. The last 8 shots for Minster missed from the field. Under 6 to go, 2 seconds. And a foul's called here. I should say the game's tied at 6. Now we're under a second to go. And another foul's called, and I think it's going to be called on Smeezing. That could well be an item, as Alex Smeezing, the leading scorer for Minster at 18 a game, now has 2 fouls. He sends A.J. Wenning to the foul line. 6'1" senior.
You know, you see that happen a lot of times. We had 2 or 3 blocks in the opening possessions, and then everybody's swatting for balls. And we definitely see a foul. That's not something they wanted with less than a second on the clock.
And that shot is no good. And our first quarter is part of the history books. After one stop, it is Coldwater 7, Minster 6.
I'm Randy Custer of Raby's in Delphos. When it comes to buying a new car, there are many different choices, different brands, possibly some you never heard of. And do you worry about who you buy your next car from? If so, I'm here to invite you into Raby Ford Lincoln Mercury, offering 3 brands that lead the automotive industry today, and a staff of professionals to offer you choice to fit your needs. Stop into Raby Ford Lincoln Mercury and
bring back that feeling and don't let it end. Raby Ford Lincoln Mercury makes it fun again. The Union Bank Company, we're committed to serving you.
Business and personal loans, home equity and home loans. At the Union Bank, we have loan programs to meet your needs.
For great rates and service like no other, call us at the Union Bank or log on to our convenient internet banking at theubank.com.
Committed to serving the community, committed to you, Union Bank.
And we are back to game action. Second quarter just underway. Coldwater with the ball. They have a 7-6 lead, coming off a 7-0 run, if you will, toward the end of that first quarter to take their first lead of the game. Now Kyle Hoying is wide open, and the 3-pointer goes down. Well, in that particular set, Kyle was all by himself. He didn't have a black jersey around him, and he cashed in.
Well, Mike, you said early that, Coldwater's going to have to come out and hit a couple perimeter shots to free some things up, and that's exactly what they needed to do.
Well, with a team like Minster that's big, it's bulky, I think you want to try to get those guys to move around a little bit to maybe open up some space, because if they don't have to, they're not going to.
Well, it was interesting that last possession, too. Minster came out and started the quarter in a man-to-man. Coldwater ran a very deliberate flex offense and got a very good open shot.
Out of bounds to Minster now on the short end of a 10-0 run right now. We're just underway in the second quarter. And remember, they're playing without Smeezing, who has 2 fouls. Shot that Patch doesn't go that time. And rebound was controlled by Minster. They're going to get another look right here. Peening's shot was blocked away, though, and Coldwater will get it back. Well, you can tell the Cavaliers are starting to settle down, and off this 10-0 run, they're looking to add to their lead. Second minute of action here in our second quarter.
It's an amazing thing how confidence plays a factor. You saw Coldwater come out very jittery, hit a few shots, hang in, and playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Jim Klingshire, number 34, is down to the game. Winning was open for a minute. Now the lob play here to Jeff Layfeld. Can't get it to go. He gets his rebound, and he was fouled. And I'm just wondering, Jerry, if they're going to try to go to Jeff Layfeld a little bit more now that Smeezing's out of the game.
Well, there was no doubt. There was great patience that time by Coldwater. They reversed the ball and really tried to seal him on the inside. Did a very good job of an entry pass inside.
The foul was called on Patch. That is his first. Minster's now committed 5 team fouls. Coldwater only 2. They say this was non-shooting, so the Cavaliers inbound. It's Jeff Layfeld. He thought about a 3-pointer. Now he'll come out to the point. He gets to Kyle Hoyne. This is a youngster who set a state playoff record, number 40 here, with most yards passing in a game, over 400. Jeff Layfeld cut off, tipped away. Now is Peening. He has it taken away momentarily, but Minster maintains possession, so they come away with a steal. Let's say if they can break this elongated dry spell. Time-wise, they've gone over a quarter without scoring. Patch on a turnaround, counted with a foul. That's a sophomore at 6'5", David Patch, who probably under normal circumstances would be playing a traditional post, but with Smeezy he doesn't really need to. He's more in the wing. That was a nice post move right there, Jerry.
That gives him a lot of flexibility in there, too, with Smeezing being such a good player. That's a good, solid move, good fake. Did a great job of squaring his body to the glass.
A.J. Winning, the guilty party there for Coldwater, his first. And the 3-point play by David Patch. That really was a big, big basket for the Minster Wildcats, breaking an 0 for 10 streak from the field. It's now a 1-point game at 10-9. Coldwater has the lead and the basketball.
It's going to be interesting here right now with Smeezing in there with 2.
Well, Jeff Layfeld called for the personal. You're right, Smeezing's back in the game. We'll have to watch that develop. And we're going to take a look at our first quarter numbers. And there you see the cold shooting on the part of both schools from the outside, which really helped Coldwater. The Cavaliers a slight edge from the free throw line. Everything else roughly even here for the first 8 minutes.
That's one thing size does too. It alters so many shots. It's not just always the cold shooting of a team, but somebody that's made them shoot that way.
That shot went off of Minster out of bounds, so the ball will go over to Coldwater. Dustin Summer back into the game. Now we see Minster playing a man-to-man. And Smeezing is still guarding Matt Layfeld, the 6'11 youngster. There you see some contact. And let's see how this is going to go. We'll go against Layfeld, I believe, maybe with a little hip check, you think?
I tell you what, that's pretty impressive for a sophomore. He's going to get open one way or the other. Did a nice job of using his hip, got called, but and he knew it. He knew it.
Well, they posted as being against A.J. Winning. Well, I think either there was some other contact or some things that we didn't see there. Maybe they're going to repost that, but I thought that foul was on Jeff Layfeld, number 41. We'll have to wait and see. Shot from the outside goes. That deuce by Dustin Summer. That is a 3, excuse me, and that's his 10th 3 of the year for Dustin Summer, a 6'3" sophomore, and that makes it 12-10. So Minster is now back in front. Schmeezing comes away with the steal. Turnover on the part of Coldwater. That is 10 turnovers now for Coldwater, something very common to a first game scenario. Schmeezing will put up this little 14-footer, but it's too hard. Rebound controlled by Jeff Layfeld.
You know, I don't mean to overkill this, but, you know, the football aspect of them, you know, the other interesting thing that challenges your scrimmage schedule. There's just nobody to scrimmage. Everybody else is playing. They've already used their scrimmages. So that even becomes very difficult getting any kind of a game situation.
Wenning takes that shot. That was Adam Wenning. It was off the iron. The thing the schools have to do is scrimmage other schools that are in the football playoffs. And sometimes geography and enrollment, things like that, don't make that all that feasible. Schmeezing couldn't quite handle that rebound, and Coldwater brings away with it. Kyle Hoying across the timeline. 12-10 our score. We approach the 3-minute mark of this first half, and a timeout is called. Timeout on the floor. Our score is Minster 12, Coldwater 10.
They had what we needed and what we wanted at Tom Hall.
Tom Hall Hyundai, compared to the other dealerships, there's no comparison. He's #1 in my book, and I'm sure he's #1 here in Lima.
Those were your neighbors that were at Tom Hall, and so therefore you felt comfortable there.
At Tom Hall Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, I've always experienced greater service than anywhere else I've ever been.
I felt very comfortable with the people there and the fact that it's a strong Lima dealership.
More than 1/2 of the workforce expect to be retired for over 20 years. Will your retirement savings last that long? To find out more, visit our website or call this toll-free number.
Today's day of broadcast is sponsored in part by Wanda, Aaron and Christy, Jason and Marla, Landon, Evan, and Madeline Newman in celebration of Jack Newman's 60th birthday. They're thankful for his life and what he means to each of them. Our thanks to the Newman family for helping to witness the living word, as well as remember Jack's 60th birthday. A big happy birthday, Jack. God bless.
And welcome back to tonight's game, brought to you by Fishmo's Restaurant. Thanks to Fishmo's in St. Henry for providing the crew with food for tonight's game. That's Fishmo's, West Main Street in St. Henry. And brought to you by Ray's Refrigeration. Ron, Mike, and Dan of Ray's Refrigeration invite you to stop and see them on the north edge of Coldwater. Ray's Refrigeration has been family-owned sales and service dealer for over 50 years, specializing in heating, air conditioning, and appliances. That's Ray's Refrigeration, North 2nd Street in Coldwater. Well, they try a little bit of backdoor as such, and we have some contact as Kyle Hoying was on the receiving end of a pass this time, and he was bumped. Brad Pringer is called for the personal, his first. 6 team fouls now against the Wildcats. From here on out, it'll be bonus time for Coldwater. Kyle Hoying's by himself off the iron with that one, and the rebound controlled by Minster. They bring it down the floor with Andy Redkerman. And the shot taken that time by Summer isn't there, and the rebound comes right to Ty Henkeline at his belt level practically, as we take another look at it. That just fell right in his lap. Yeah. And a jump ball is going to be called on that particular sequence. So Coldwater gets the ball back and kind of lends itself to the defensive struggle we're having here. As Minster has scored only 12 points, Coldwater 10. And Layfeld wants to take it, and he's got it.
That's a nice move for a sophomore.
That was Matt Layfeld. The 6'11 sophomores tied things up at 12. Under 2 minutes to go here in this first half. And now a reach foul is going to be called against Kyle Hoying. Overly aggressive on the defense. This portion of tonight's game is being brought to you by Shell's Westtown Drive-Thru. Give us a call at 678-2999 for our Pizza of the Month. chicken bacon barbecue. That's Shell Westtown drive-through, West Main Street in Coldwater. Score remains at 12. Summer inbounds the pass. He gets to Smeezing. It's going to be interesting to see how long Smeezing stays in this first half. He has 2 fouls. Really the only player in significant foul trouble. And he plays the contact position. He's down there in the post with Layfeld. Shot up off the window and in. Nice move that time by Andy Redgerman.
And great patience that time by Minster to, keep the ball moving, swing it side to side, and get some position inside.
That was Brad Pringer with a field goal, Brad Pringer with the deuce, and we have a traveling call the other way on Coldwater with 1:10 to go in the quarter.
One of the things that, we've seen happen a little bit with Minster, they've had great patience. That patience has gotten them a little bit more open shot every time. And I believe they've outshot them 19 field goals to 12.
Well, in 2 of their victories this year, Minster scored over 70 points. The other one was, I think, 48 points. So they've managed to play a couple of different styles. And tonight they're adapting against Coldwater, which is a good-sized team, very physical. Pringer maintains possession, almost put it in. Penny with the fill rebound here. He can't get it to go. Penny gets it back in the tall timber. And we have a foul on a backside rebounding position against Minster, I believe.
They did a great job of crashing the boards. And, they just kept challenging Layfeld inside.
Brad Pringer's called for that foul. 42, not 32. That is 7 team fouls now. One thing I liked is with the 3-man crew, they let a lot of bumping going on here and until the last youngster got knocked down, and that was going to be Kyle Hoying, who's going to the free throw line.
I think that's happened as 3-man crews have evolved. I think they're more fluent working with each other. I think the big fear early when they went to 3-man crews was everything was going to be called. I just think they've worked themselves together a little bit better. Most leagues now do have 3-man.
14-12, Minster the lead, and the basketball off the Hoying miss. Peening a great dish that time, and up and in with it on the deuce is David Patch. Well, give Peening a great assist that time as he penetrated, drew the attention, and laid it off to make it 16-12.
It's hard to believe Peening's listed at 6 foot. Looks like a very small individual out there in the lineups.
Klingshirn shot one go, tip attempt not there, ball loose, and controlled by David Patch. Last shot time now for Minster. 7 seconds left. Peening looking inside. He'll take the drive with the left hand. Jonathan Peening with lay-in. And Minster closes with a flourish after 2 quarters. It is the Minster Wildcats 18, Coldwater 12.
They had what we needed and what we wanted at Tom Hall.
Tom Hall Hyundai, compared to the other dealerships, there's no comparison. He's #1 in my book, and I'm sure he's #1 here in Lima.
Those were your neighbors that were at Tom Hall, and so therefore you felt comfortable there.
At Tom Hall Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, I've always experienced greater service than anywhere else I've ever been.
I felt very comfortable with the people there and the fact that it's a strong Lima dealership.
Since 1980, we have been servicing the Limaland area vehicles. I feel proud knowing that I have treated my customers honestly and fairly. We carry a full line of Firestone and Dayton Performance tires, led by our popular performance tire, Firestone Firehawk SH30, outstanding in wet weather, and our stylish Daytona white lettered radial tire. We can service all your air conditioning needs. Inquire about our lifetime warranty on our Napa brake pads and our undercar service such as exhaust, shocks, and struts.
See, someone has to summarize this for them. They don't do that. Okay. And welcome back to Coldwater High School at halftime. The Coldwater Cavaliers and Minster having at it. And it's Minster 18 and Coldwater 12 at the half. Mike Sheppin, Jerry Snodgrass with you. And we'll take a look at our first quarter numbers. Offensively, sparse that they were, as we had a defensive struggle in the first quarter. There you see the very poor shooting for both teams. The three-point shot really hasn't been much of a factor in this game. Nor has foul shooting. Jerry, I think the one significant number there that jumps out at both is the 12 turnovers on the part of Coldwater, part of a first night scenario.
You know, it is. It's something I say as a coach you expect. You don't want it, but you kind of expect that a little bit going in. Those are those unanswered questions you have. But no doubt they do have to take better care of the basketball. There was a time there where Minster had outshot them significantly, and it was just that they didn't have the opportunity to have the possession. They threw it away.
Okay, so once again, at the half, our score is 18-12, and Minster has the lead. Well, now we're going to throw Jerry Snodgrass off of press row just for a couple minutes because we have a distinguished visitor with us here from Coldwater, and we're going to get John Reed wired up here. We want to talk to Coldwater's head football coach, John Reed, after their very successful season this past fall, going to the state finals for the second time in 3 years. First of all, Coach, and the part of all of us at TV 44, congratulations, a great run.
Well, thank you, and thanks for all the coverage you give high school sports in this area. It's much appreciated.
Coach, you looked at this team in late July and early August. Did you anticipate this kind of season you ended up having?
I don't think you ever anticipate that you're going to end up in the state championship. We knew that we had talent, and we could be successful if everything came together. And I think particularly our 8 seniors really provided the leadership to allow us to go to the level that we went to.
Coach, it's kind of interesting because the Midwest Athletic Conference deserves a lot of kudos, and it gets those with the type of football they play. But, you know, you were one team in a lot of your playoff games. You were an underdog going in. Do you think that kind of served your purpose well as you look back on that?
I think it did. I think the first game against Otsego was probably the only time that we were favorites. And our kids kind of relish in that idea of always being the underdog. And, you know, people make a big deal and say, well, you finished third in the MAC. How can you be that good? And I think our kids kind of fed off of that.
John, you've had a couple weeks of retrospect to think about the title game. Was this the case where Ursula and this had some speed, some type of offensive skills that your kids weren't used to seeing?
No question. I've been coaching 30 years, and that's the best football team I've ever seen. And I had the opportunity to coach Division I for a length of time. Everybody wants to talk about their tailbacks. The thing that impressed me was the offensive linemen that they had, the athleticism to go 310, 285, 265, 255 in high school. That's almost unheard of. That was a Division I team we felt playing in a Division IV school.
Well, then you put 2 kids behind him with sprinter speed.
Oh,
it's
boy.
kind of a tough combination, isn't it?
That is.
Okay. Coach, even with a program like yours, you just finished up a couple weeks ago, football takes a bit of a hiatus. When does the 2001 Cavalier football program sort of start preparing for that season?
Well, actually, those kids on their own have been down in the weight room already. The Monday after we lost, they went down there and started. The next, you know, those kids, the bar is set very high now. And, you know, I told them, I said, you guys need to take some time off. He says, no, Coach, we're going down. We like being together. We like what we do. So, obviously, I've got 30 days away from them, which is good for them. It's good for them to be away from me. But they've already started, really. They're down in the weight room, and they love to do that. So, you know, you enjoy it while you can.
Oh, John, thanks a lot for stopping by and chatting with us. Congratulations. Enjoy your off-season such as it is. Okay, that was John Reed, the head football coach here of the Coldwater Cavaliers. And at halftime, it is Minster 18, Coldwater 12.
Best choice, the simple choice, is Semco wood windows and patio doors from Lima Lumber. Semco gives you the beauty of wood inside and the maintenance-free protection of aluminum outside. And they're guaranteed not to crack, chip, blister, or rust. All Semco products are weather stripped to conserve energy. The choice is simple. Semco wood windows and patio doors from Lima Lumber, 1101 Delphus Avenue, Lima.
Count on the pros at Lima Lumber to help you get the job done.
And we're with a shooting specialist, Jay Wolf. Jay, you travel the country giving clinics on shooting. What are the basic factors that make for great form in shooting?
I think, Mike, you can break that down to 2 basic factors. First of all, having the ability to release the ball completely with one hand. So there's no involvement with the offhand whatsoever. The second thing would be that we make sure all the arm parts, this is the mechanical aspect, looking at your arm like a machine, the upper arm, the lower arm, and the hand and fingers working as one. All those arm parts are in vertical alignment, much like an elevator. An elevator door will not close until you get all the parts in there. So let's get all those parts in the elevator and then up the elevator and on its way.
Okay, basic form being reviewed today on Star Shooter Tips.
At the Stolly Insurance Group, we're a family of insurance professionals that's been serving West Central Ohio since 1904. We pride ourselves on finding just the right insurance or investment program to meet the needs of all our customers. We're a full-service independent agency representing many insurance carriers, including the CNA insurance companies. So contact the Stolly Insurance Group and meet our family of insurance professionals looking out for you, your business, and your family.
And we're back at Coldwater High School. We're showing you some replays of the first half. There you saw the fine point guard, Jonathan Peening, with the nice penetration. It was the same play from two different angles for the easy lay-in that time by David Patch. Okay. You see some of the students that are in attendance for tonight's game. Our third quarter is about to begin, and Minster has the lead. And the ball. Once again, we'd like to thank Fishmo's. They put a tremendous spread on for us tonight. We had tenderloins and cheeseburger and pizzas and wings and French fries and onion rings. And Jerry and I had to elbow the non-on-air people out of the way so we could get a few crumbs. But no, just a great spread at Fishmo's on West Main, and St. Henry provided it for us. And you talk about a shrine to St. Henry sports. You got to go down to Fishmo's and see all the great memorabilia they have down there with the folks like Bobby Hoying and Jeff Hardings and all the great teams that St. Henry has had as well memorialized there. This is Smeezing, a nice little move there, but the shot is too hard on the rebound. Peening has it taken away, and Coldwater's Hoying comes away with it.
Boy, Peening has managed to sneak in on about 3 different occasions. They haven't connected on it, but he does make something happen.
This is Mike Sheplin with Jerry Snodgrass. Our third quarter is just underway here from Coldwater High School. Off a 8-0 run, Minster has the lead at 18-12. It has been a defensive struggle. Both teams have had quite a few shots. And it's not like it's been a deliberate game on purpose, but they just haven't gone down. And quite a few turnovers as well for Coldwater. They had 12 in the first half.
Well, you know, one of the things I think that has led this to be kind of a defensive struggle is the fact that both teams are running the same offense. So both teams see it in practice every day, and I think, you know, scoring opportunities by virtue of that are just a little harder to come by.
And speaking of turnovers, the Cavaliers just committed their 13th, so Minster has the ball back, and Smeezing out front with it. He wins it off here. Brad Pringer looking into Smeezing. Looks like he may reverse the ball. Just Peening with it. Dustin Summers, number 32, is into the game, and Summers, 32, is a very good three-point shooter. Three-pointer taken here by Brad Pringer. Brad Pringer hit that triple. That is his third of the year for 5 points to make the score 21-12.
Well, I think that ultimately is what's going to change things a little bit, is a little bit of perimeter shooting. We see it here. Again, good ball movement across the floor, you know, and the help still buried inside, and a good shot, good three.
Well, now Coldwater's in the midst of a long dry spell the way Minster was in the first half, and the Cavaliers are down by 9. This is the biggest deficit they faced the entire night. Adam Wenning shot barely grazed the iron that time. Smeezing the rebound for the Minster Wildcats.
Coldwater has to be a little cautious here because they're not the style of play, they're not a great come-from-behind team right now.
Now Smeezing couldn't get the shot. The rebound as it goes. Smeezing has it again, and he was fouled. And count the basket. Alex Smeezing, a third of that attempt that time, as we see Minster just own the boards at their end with 3 chances very close to the bucket.
Well, you know, there are 8 offensive rebounds now by Minster, and I think that was one of the things coming in, that even though Matt Layfeld is 6'11", he's young, but overall, Minster just does have some very dominant size.
Oh, the nice stroke there by Smeezing, who is a perfect 10 for 10 from the foul line this year.
Boy, very strong effort that time. You know, picked the ball up, gathered his feet under him, went up strong, had an arm on him.
Well, believe it or not, at one point, it was 12-10 Coldwater. Since then, Minster scored the last 14 points. That shot is well short that time by Tyler Vogel, who's back in the game, number 32. Vogel played very little in the first half because of foul trouble. Vogel clears that miss away by Dustin Summer.
You said it right. Vogel cleared that mess. He had his man checked out by a good 6 feet.
And Vogel has it right here, working against Smeezing. Vogel has it blocked away, and Smeezing commits the foul.
You know, when Tyler Vogel gets over a few injuries and, you know, gets into the flow, he's going to be a great contributor for Coldwater. He just plays with a very steady, you know, attitude all the time. He's going to be a very, very good player for them.
And this is Tyler Vogel at the line for his first foul shot attempts of the year. And according to Jerry, Miami of Ohio, very interested in this young man as far as a prospective football recruit. The thing about Vogel, he was excellent on defense, excellent on offense. And in college, they will make a decision. Sometimes it's the coaches who make the decision, but you know, in high school, going both ways is common, and in college, you want to play one side of the ball.
I think more and more you see colleges opting to take those players that, you know, are very versatile, and many of them end up playing positions they never even played in high school.
Yes. Now we see Coldwater in a zone. Dustin Summer, number 32. He's stationed in the right corner, just out of screen range, right in front of the Minster bench. He has hit 10 threes in the year. So they might try some quick ball reversal to him. Because one in the game, they had 12 threes, Minster did, and Dustin Summer, number 32, had 10 of them.
You know, I think Coldwater's trying to stop the bleeding a little bit, too, on just a little bit of the scoring and slow things down a little bit. And right now, they do a pretty good job of that.
And Summer pulls the trigger, and he can't get it to go. Stroked it pretty well, but it wouldn't go down. We have a rebound foul as Minster's playing without Smeezing right now. He's out of the game. Austin Kaler is in for him.
We're going to see some unbelievable contact here on the inside. Oh, wow. Man.
Well, when all that was cleared up and they got the rescue vehicles away, they called it on David Patch.
I'm glad that happened at the other end. I think we might have bounced up if it happened down here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, A.J. Wenning, not the black 44, the white 44. Take another look at this.
Those are two pretty good angles of that.
In this non-contact sport.
No foul.
Halfway through this third quarter. And Minster manages to keep it. Shot put up off window, and in that time by Austin Kaler. Austin Kaler off the bench took the shot immediately. Nice ball movement there by Minster to make it 26-12. And Jerry Snodgrass so appropriately said the fact that Coldwater, a team that cannot come back from a big deficit. They just don't have that kind of firepower, looks like, early in the season. The miss there by Jeff Layfeld, and it's cleared away by Dustin Summer.
Well, that last score was critical, too, because, you know, Coldwater wanted to buy some time in his zone, and they're really not going to be able to do it for too long of a time.
Just like the first quarter, this third quarter, we've seen Coldwater be ice cold. We're almost 5 minutes into it, and they have not scored just the way they started the game. Jeff Layfeld trying to manufacture something, and he does so.
That's about the third time this game he's done that, really taking it into his own hands, and does a great job of going to the basket.
And that makes it 26-14. That's only the fifth shot that Coldwater's been able to attempt this quarter. A shot a minute's not going to get it. Inside once again, Kaler. I like the fact that kid comes off the bench, Jerry. Not a lot of pump fakes, not a lot of indecision. He decisively goes to the basket.
You know, he's been very decisive, and, you know, no hesitation at all on his part to challenge everything inside and go right at it.
Now Coldwater needing another basket. Basket's in the worst way tonight. Vogel now playing the post against Kaler. Two youngsters from the bench. The two tall guys, Smeezing and Matt Layfeld, are out right now. Doug Borger, 22, is now in the game for Coldwater. There's a long-range bomb taken. It doesn't go that time by Kyle Hoying. And Minster controls as they are controlling this game here in the third quarter. We approach the 2-minute mark on our Intercom scoreboard. We certainly appreciate the efforts of Intercom on our scoreboard this season. 5-second call this time, as Brad Pringer couldn't get the ball away in time, and a turnover against Minster. Now we see Matt Layfeld, the 6'11 youngster, back into the game.
I think Minster will probably try to ride the quarter out with Smeezing on the bench, give him some good rest, and you know, let him come in at the start of the fourth.
And tomorrow night, tonight, for those of you watching our Saturday replay, Jerry and I will be up Route 127 in Paulding. The Panthers hosting Van Wert. For Van Wert, that'll be their second game. They're opening up tonight against St. Mary's. So Van Wert and Paulding, 10:30 Saturday night, TV 44. Now we're under 1:40 left here in this third quarter. It's been dominated by the Minster Cats. We take Vogel take the shot. That's too hard. Jeff Layfeld to follow. Jeff Layfeld has scored both of Coldwater's baskets in this quarter. It's a 12-point game at 28-16. Prenger trying to drive, gets it off to Kaler. Now we see Coldwater back in a man-to-man. Shot put up that time by Kaler. It wouldn't go. And let's see if Coldwater can cut into the lead. Kyle Hoying thought about penetrating. Now looks inside to Layfeld. Hoying to Vogel. Vogel, nice dish that time, and Matt Layfeld laid it in. Good pass that time by Tyler Vogel, finding the big guy underneath to make it 28-18. So it's a 10-point game in our final 46 seconds here of this third quarter. And I agree with Jerry. I don't think we'll see Smeezin again until the fourth quarter play. Although Coldwater scored the last two baskets, Minster still in control of this. Pull up that time, difficult shot, and it went by Brad Prenger. Brad Prenger now with 7 in the game. He has tied David Patch for scoring honors for the Minster Wildcats, and they lead it 30-18.
And that's one thing Minster has. They have such good balance. You know, we talked about Schmeezing, but, you know, Prenger's a good scorer. They have 3 double-digit scores on the year.
That pass was tipped away, but controlled by Coldwater. Shot put up by Jeff Layfeld. It goes. That's a 3. Jeff Layfeld single-handedly trying to keep Coldwater into this game. A half quarter is wide of the mark. And after 3 stops, our score is Minster 30 and Coldwater 21.
As an entertainer, I'm a perfectionist. That goes double when I entertain for the holidays.
Introducing Arby's Winter Crystal Stemware.
Everything has to be just right, down to the last detail.
With a 22-karat gold rim and a festive winter scene.
For elegance, I spare no expense.
And they're just 99 cents each.
Okay, but that can be our little secret.
Entertain in style with Arby's new Winter Crystal Stemware. Just 99 cents each with each soft drink purchase.
Does your business or organization need that something extra to make you stand out? Then check out Imageries, your total image maker. Imageries can put your logo on just about anything. How about embroidered hats or shirts, knit denim, and much more. We also do silk screening for teams, companies, and civic organizations. Imageries can handle all sizes of orders, from 1 to thousands, with the service and expertise to make sure you are always completely satisfied. Give them a call today or stop in across from the post office on High Street. Imageries, a division of Quick as a Wink.
And we welcome you back to Coldwater High School. Mike Shepp along with Jerry Snodgrass. We have 8 minutes of action remaining in regulation play. 30-21. Minster has the lead. Coldwater has the ball as we open up quarter number 4. In that third quarter, Minster scored 12 points to 9 for Coldwater, and they now have this 9-point advantage. Minster Wildcats on defense. Coldwater looking to cut into the lead. Jeff Layfeld, he has scored off the drive. This time the dish goes that he couldn't get it over the rim was A.J. Wenning. A tough break because Coldwater got a real good look. They showed some pretty good patience that time and got the shot they wanted.
Well, that was a good move that time by Coldwater to, you know, spread things a little bit and finally let Jeff Layfeld penetrate, which he's done so well the last several possessions.
And Prenger's shot is in and out. Keening the rebound. He can't get it to go. And that shot was rejected by Vogel nicely as Brad Prenger tried to put it up, and Vogel with the defensive play. That's Jeff Layfeld the ball back, so that was a nice stop by the Coldwater defense, and Jeff Layfeld is called for a charge. Now, to me, that's somewhat of a debatable call. I mean, Smeezing is underneath the basket. I don't watch much of the NBA. That's one rule I like in the NBA. You don't get that call when you're directly underneath the basket like that.
Well, you know, he's airborne and he has a right to come down, and you know, that is a tough call. And I don't think Chris Ben's too upset about that. Here we see it again from a different angle. I think, you know, Chris Ben's, you know, very, very pleased with the penetration that Layfeld is doing right now and feels that that'll come back and help them down the stretch here.
Well, that will be 3-team fouls against Coldwater. Minster's committed only one. That time the Wildcats couldn't capitalize, so another defensive stop for Coldwater. They need to start converting. Can Kyle Hoying do so? In and out, tough break. Tyler Vogel the rebound, up and in. Tyler Vogel, who's played almost all of this fourth quarter, and I think he's made a difference. He's very athletic down there along the baseline to make it 30-23. Out of bounds, controlled by Coldwater. Turnover, timeout called. Full timeout for the Minster Wildcats. Play is stopped on the floor. Our score is Minster 30, Coldwater 23.
If you're looking for a good deal on a vehicle without any games or gimmicks, then head to Magnum Truck and Auto. At Magnum, they look at the long-term picture. They want repeat business. Magnum can help you understand GVW, towing capacity, how a lease works, or any other question you may have. Their goal at Magnum is to make each customer a friend. Give that customer the best value for their dollar. Magnum Truck and Auto, locally owned and operated since 1977. Located next to I-75 on Blue Lip Road. Your truck specialist is Magnum Truck and Auto. On the web at magnumtruck.com. At S&K Mower Service and Repair, we're ready for winter. We have new Simplicity and Snapper snow throwers in stock. They're ready for delivery at the area's best prices. We also service all brands of outdoor power equipment. Pleasing you pleases us. Come see Steve, Mike, and Brad at S&K Mowers Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 and Saturday from 8 to noon. That's S&K Mower Service and Repair, located at 9280 North Dixie Highway in Bluffton.
We are back here at Coldwater. Taking a look at our stats for 3 quarters of play. You see the Cavaliers only 6 field goals. They're struggling with their scoring tonight, and turnovers much better. I don't think they committed a turnover in that third quarter after all those in the first half. So, and when you're trying to come back in a game, Jerry, when you're trying to overcome a deficit, turnovers, that's like the death penalty. You just can't overcome it.
Every possession is so critical when you're trying to come back. You just can't afford a lost possession.
Klingshirn's shot from the outside was short, but another chance coming up here, and a bump foul's called. As Jeff Layfield, and I like this kid's aggressiveness. He was fouled. Non-shooting foul goes against Brad Pringer. His third. 2 team fouls now against Minster.
Coldwater came out after that timeout also and, did the same thing, spread the floor a little bit, and eventually it gets to Layfield, Matt Layfield, and he's able to penetrate, or Jeff Layfield, and able to penetrate like that.
Coach Mike Lee brings Austin Kaler back into the game. That's a bad shot. That's a 3-pointer by Vogel. Oh, my goodness. Vogel with 5 points all in this quarter, and suddenly it's 30-26 as Tyler Vogel and Jeff Layfield making a major statement for Coldwater at the offensive end of the floor. Smeezing off the window, no. Rebound to Matt Layfield.
Absolutely everything going Coldwater's way right now.
Well, right now, it was at one point it was 30-18, so it's an 8-0 run for the Cavaliers. Can they climb back all the way into this one? Klingshirn a little pull up, and that goes. Jim Klingshirn, his first basket of the night, comes at an excellent time for the Cavaliers, and we now have a 2-point game on our hand, 30-28, and the 10-0 run for the Cavaliers, and Klingshirn knocks it out of bounds. Minster's list their last 5 field goal attempts. So they desperately would like to get a nice look at the basket. Of course, some of those shots have been good looks, but they haven't been able to go down.
Well, the Cavaliers have definitely found a set that fits them well. Even that last 3-pointer that we just saw there, good penetration and kick it out, and everything going their way, you hit those shots.
Tyler Vogel hit that one. Now let's see if Minster can answer. Pringer. And Pringer hits it. My goodness, Brad Pringer with 9 points, the 6'2 senior, averages 12 on the season. Hits a big basket for his team to make it 32-28. Minster back up by 4. 4:35 left. Jeff Layfield, nice dish off, and Matt Layfield puts it in. Well, I tell you, Jeff Layfield was aggressiveness that time with the aggressiveness in the lane to penetrate and dish it off to Matt. And Matt put it down to make it a 2-point game again at 32-30. Coldwater's hit 7 of their last 11 from the field at 63%. over that stretch, and Smeezing has to get rid of it. That has to be a 5-second call. A timeout is called. The Minster bench looks on quizzically as if they didn't call it, but it'll be a 30-second timeout. And we'd like to remind some of our viewers in the Minster area and in the Coldwater area that you may not be receiving as clear a signal as usual tonight. TV 44 has been operating on low power since October when an auto accident near the station affected our power plant, our tower. The good news is we're replacing our antenna after the first of the year, and you'll have an even stronger signal than you did originally. Right now, we apologize for the inconvenience. How are we coming through up in the Flag City?
Well, right now we're on as strong as can be. We went on for a while there, where right after the accident, where it was tough, but it's on good up in good old Flag City.
Okay, now we're about ready to go back to action, and a somewhat of an unintentional timeout call there. I don't know if Coach Mike Lee wanted it, but could have taken advantage of it here with a set on offense as we approach the midway point of our final quarter. And his team is struggling right now. Coldwater has the momentum, only down by 2 after being down by 12.
You know, and you see everybody from Minster just a little bit more tentative right now, too, playing not to lose that lead.
Same situation as before, Jerry. Same situation as before, as Smeezing can't find anybody to pass it to. When Smeezing has the ball, you wonder why it wasn't 5 seconds. He wasn't being contested that time. Thus no 5-second call, but yet after that long possession, including a timeout in it, they turn it over.
Yep, again, that tentativeness is, you know, and then not even getting a shot off really highlights that.
Vogel hit a 3 from the opposite corner. I don't know if he thought about it right there. Back to Jeff Layfield. This kid wants to create. He is a decisive player. He was triple teamed in the lane. We have a foul before the shot, and it goes against Prenger, who is pleading innocent very vehemently. We had some contact there, and I'm not sure if Prenger was the one who hit him. We have another look at it, and it wasn't Prenger. That is going to be a factor. That is Prenger's 4th foul. May have been a foul there, but I don't think Prenger was really the guilty party, but he was found guilty.
Yeah, and you know, Prenger's been so critical here in the early fourth quarter. You know, losing him's going to be tough.
Right now, 42 is staying on the floor, Brad Prenger is.
It's kind of that no man's land right now. You've got a little over 3 minutes. You really can't take him out in a tie ball game, but you don't want to lose him either. And that couldn't be a worse time for Minster with that.
And off the set play, Tyler Vogel has it. He steps back behind the 3-point line. Now out to Hoying. Layfield trying to come, and Coldwater trying to come all the way back from a 12-point deficit. It's Vogel. That shot is short. Rebound controlled by Prenger. And Prenger has evolved in one of our leading candidates for the Stolly Insurance Hustle Award.
You know, he has really made a lot happen here in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Now down to 2:45 to go. Smeezing, he wants to take this one to the basket, but then he comes back outside. Now he'll try this time against Layfield, against Matt Layfield. The basket goes. Let's see how the foul call unfolds. Smeezing made the basket. Foul was called on Tyler Vogel. And I think it's going to be out of bounds, Jerry.
Yeah,
to,
I believe it is.
Minster. If this is the way I'm reading this correctly, because the foul wasn't on the big guy. It wasn't on Matt, Layfield. The foul went away. It was on Vogel, who was behind him and underneath the basket further. Tyler Vogel's called for her 3rd. So at 34-30, this could be a big double trip down the floor in effect.
Possessions are so critical this time of the game. That is so critical.
Well, how about Jeff Layfield? This kid has been all over the place. Number 33 trying to do it again, and he's called for the foul. This young man, number 33, is making a major statement. Intercepted the inbounds pass. Tried to lay it in, and now Jeff will go to the free throw line.
Boy, he had that long hop when you make that move to the basket and come to a jump stop. Boy, that's a hard thing to teach. Boy, that shows his athletic ability.
So Jeff Layfield was going to the free throw line, and another factor involved in first game scenarios is foul shooting, because you just haven't been doing any foul shooting under any type of pressure circumstances. You can simulate it, but not with you know, close to 2,000 people in the house. You're in a close league game type struggle here, and Layfield missed both of them. On the rebound, Tyler Vogel has it checked out by Smeezing. We will see Coldwater keep it. Chris Ben wants to take a timeout, and a full timeout it is. Play is stopped on the floor. It is Minster 34, Coldwater 30.
Agape Enterprises is your area's factory-authorized Sunrise window dealer. Sunrise windows are the most energy-efficient, technologically advanced windows on the market. Agape offers the incomparable energy savings Ultra U Plus insulating glass system. Agape offers benchmark award-winning vinyl siding by Wolverine with a fiberglass reinforced stabilizer bar. Spray-crete concrete resurfacing is beautiful, durable, and enhances your property's value. It is stain, salt, crack, oil, and freeze-resistant. Remember, Agape means love. You will love our work.
This year, give a gift that says more than just Merry Christmas. Gifts of Joy has gift ideas that celebrate Jesus, the light of the world. It's still the best seller of all time. We have Bibles for everyone on your list. No matter what your special need, perhaps the giant print handy-size King James or the complete NIV on cassette, we have it. Enhanced Bible Study, the Life Application Study Bible, and Strong's Exhaustive Concordance are favorites. And for your high-tech friends, Bible software. Gifts of Joy on Allentown Road. Meaningful gifts at affordable prices.
Fellow for the other. And we're back into play here. Shot put up that time by Layfield. It doesn't go. The other Layfield has the rebound. He's too far underneath. But tipped out of bounds. Controlled by Minster. So a couple chances that time, but Coldwater couldn't connect. Matt Layfield well short with his shot, and Jeff was basically too far underneath the basket to try to get that one to go.
You know, they're all big possessions, but that was a big possession. You had the ball under your own basket. Really want to come up with a score. You know, you're getting down to the 2-minute mark.
Well, let's remember, they were down 12, Coldwater was, and Jerry mentioned they don't have the type of offense to come back from a big lead. Was a 12-point deficit too big of a lead to climb? We'll have to wait and see. Schmeezy wants to take this shot, and he does so. That was Alex Schmeezy with his 9th point of the evening to make it 36-30. We're now under 2 minutes. So the trips down the floor becoming very important here for Coldwater. Jeff Layfield will try to do something about it. That's off the window. Rebound controlled by Tyler Vogel. Count it with the foul. Tyler Vogel didn't have the supreme position that time, but he had the athleticism to snatch that ball and put it right back up. Tyler Vogel has 7 points all in this fourth quarter. You know, and Jerry mentioned earlier, once this kid gets the football out of him, his basketball muscles working, you can tell he's going to be a main contributor.
Well, you know, now they're 4 of 11, I believe, from the line. But, you know, you see it here on camera, you see the last move. That's the fourth straight point, second straight basket inside by Schmeezy.
36-33 our score now. Schmeezy has the ball back, up off the window and in. It looks like this is something maybe Minster decided to do coming out of the timeout. Schmeezy now with 11 points to make it 38-33, 1:25 left.
He's been kind of a savior here. He scored their last 3 baskets when they really needed them.
And with a pick that time is Prenger. Prenger tries to maintain possession. The ball is still loose on the deck, still being pounded around, and finally Minster will come away with it. That was Prenger who started that whole sequence, forcing the turnover. He has the ball back with a minute left, and Hoying is called for the foul. So Kyle Hoying called for that personal. Mike Lee with instructions to his kids.
You know, Coldwater might have, had a little bit of time there, especially early going like this, where they don't know quite the game situation, and maybe a timeout would have saved them a little bit.
And a timeout's going to be called right now with 1 minute straight up to go in this one. Minster leads it by 5.
Hi, I'm Pete Williams with the Old Barn Out Back, inviting you to come out and join us and experience country cooking at its best. Our salad bar is loaded with all sorts of fresh fruits and vegetables. We bake our own desserts, breads, and rolls, including our famous cinnamon rolls. Try our buffets with the best fried chicken and barbecue ribs in the area, or join us for Sunday brunch at the Old Barn Out Back. We also have an excellent staff to serve you and take care of your needs. So join us on West Elm Street in Lima.
Today's day of broadcast is sponsored in part by Wanda, Aaron and Christy, Jason and Marla, Landon, Evan, and Madeline Newman in celebration of Jack Newman's 60th birthday. They're thankful for his life and what he means to each of them. Our thanks to the Newman family for helping to witness the living word, as well as remember Jack's 60th birthday. A big happy birthday, Jack. God bless.
More than one-half of the workforce expect to be retired for over 20 years. Will your retirement savings last that long? To find out more, visit our website or call this toll-free number.
Here we see Smeezing with one of his baskets here in the fourth quarter when he's made a strong statement. And we see the Minster bench when he makes that score. And I'm thinking that's something Coach Lee and the staff said, let's try and do this here in the fourth quarter, because Alex Smeezing has scored 3 baskets late here.
Yeah, let's kind of go to our money here and see what we can get. Boy, you see a great response out of a bench. That's a great view of that.
Now there's just under a minute to go in this game, and only 5 team fouls for each school, so Coldwater has 1 to give here, but they're going to have to try to force a turnover, and do they do so here? The ball's loose. Smeezing comes away with it, and the nice dish to Peony, and he puts up and in. So off a little loose ball situation, Minster prospers, and that makes the score 40-33. Minster scored the last 4 points, and Coldwater has to put it up and put it up quickly. So they do so, and that shot by Winning went off the iron. Jeff Layfeld all over the place. Can't get that one to go. The long rebound controlled by the Cavaliers. Kyle Hoying puts it up. That one's too hard. And a foul is going to be called. That foul went against Jeff Layfeld, and that is only the 6th team foul against Coldwater. Non-shooting, we'll see Minster inbound. But the most important factor there, Jerry, is a lot of time went off that long trip down the floor by the home team.
Well, you know, and I know Chris Ben's going to refer to this, you know, somewhere, sometime, that one of the things they'll grow from right now is that game experience of learning how to handle the last couple minutes of a game.
And we're saluting Brad Pringer, who's our Starley Insurance Hustle Award winner. Look at him hustle right there, trying to get the ball in the inbounds pass, but he couldn't quite track it down. But Brad tonight has been pivotal. He's played almost the whole game. Scored 9 points. He's been crucial when Smeezing's been on the bench in foul trouble. Well, under 20 seconds to go.
In a low-scoring game like this, you know, the 9 points were very key, and I thought he made a lot happen at key times, too.
Smeezing with the rebound here. 10 seconds left now. And Minster just wants to play keep away, winding down to their 4th win of the year. Pringer with it, and that will do it. So in a low-scoring affair that saw Coldwater get down by 12 and not quite able to climb that mountain back, the Minster Wildcats stay undefeated on the season. We'll be talking to Coach Mike Lee about that in just a bit. Our final score in tonight's varsity matchup, it was Minster 40, Coldwater 33.